Virtual reality and augmented reality is here. You can use these new technologies for marketing your business. In this podcast, we have on Steven from Contend, where he's going to share with you his SmartStage technology, where you can allow your viewers to be able to see the benefits of VR and AR without the need for glasses or any new technology. You can watch it from within your browser. You're going to want to watch this entire episode. Thanks. Hey everyone, welcome to the Crowdcreate podcast, where we highlight thought leaders in marketing and bring you the most relevant strategies that you can leverage for your own business. Today we have on Steven Amato, founder and CEO of Contend, who's going to share some tips and strategies about virtual reality, augmented reality, and how you can really leverage it for marketing your company. Steven, welcome to the podcast.
It's so nice to be here, and let's get into it.
Nice. Maybe just high-level introduction, who you are, what you've done, and then we can...
Sure. My name is Steven Amato. Like you said, I created a company called Contend back in 2014. And what we do is we create content experiences that basically drive a measurable business result. So how we got to AR, VR is because we really believe that these are the experiences of what people actually want to be having, what we call content. So yeah, that's kind of how we arrived here. It's been a wild ride.
Awesome. So let's get into it. Just at a high level, what is virtual reality? What is augmented reality? And maybe if we can share some examples of like what it is and how can people experience it and whatnot.
I mean, definition of virtual reality is it's some alternative reality to where we are right now. So you have like, I'm in a conference room, or in a shared kind of virtual space, we'd be in a virtual reality. Augmented reality is the way that I describe it is a virtual layer that lives in an unlockable space in a real world scenario. And this I'm very, very excited about. In fact, I can't stop thinking about it.
So tell us, what are you constantly thinking about, and like, what is the wave that's coming? We're already here.
I just feel like the world becoming an unlockable new experience for people and for brands and for people to connect, and content creators being able to leave behind unique breadcrumbs or Easter eggs in our real world. Like a tree that's been there for 100 years could now have an entirely new experience that it's never had before. Aside from just being an amazing tree, it could also tell the story of that tree, or it could tell the story, or a city could have unlockable stories about how that city became to be, either in a real way or in a fictional way, all within, an unlockable thing using a mobile device right now. And in the future, using a peripheral.
Nice. Do you have any examples of, any companies that are currently doing it, and what is the most readily accessible?
I mean, unfortunately, there's not a lot of the Pokemon Go obviously is the company that everyone talks about. Niantic are doing, they're building the maps, and they're building and they're using kind of nostalgic based gameplay using a brand like Pokemon, where you can kind of go and create a community, which is really exciting. But in terms of where it's going, I think there's a lot of companies that are on the precipice of kind of launching this, but we haven't really seen a lot of it. I think this is the year for it, to be honest.
Very nice. And I guess on the virtual reality side, is it different or is it similar? Or any companies using it right now for showroom experiences? Or
well, I mean, the virtual reality space, where obviously everyone's talking about the metaverse, and we're talking about kind of going to a destination using some kind of headset or some kind of device. So yeah, I think there's a lot of companies doing that right now. And the companies that we're really excited about are, we're liking what Microsoft's position is around kind of the metaverse and around their worlds, because they have such a rich gaming, they own so many gaming IP that imagine being able to deliver those worlds to a virtual reality. The headset wise, I think the one that we certainly work with is Meta. The Gear is definitely the one that I think is setting the stage. And the thing that I'm really excited about in terms of virtual reality, to be honest, is the audio. I know it sounds crazy because it's such a immersive virtual world where you can turn around and look everywhere. But I think what drives the story for me is the audio cues, the 3D audio, the spatial audio. To me, that's where it gets really, really interesting, and something that I want to explore moving into the future is this idea of immersive audio podcasts into a virtual reality setting. I think is where, I think a lot of storytelling is going to come from.
Very nice. Steve and Andrea, would love to pull up those examples now. I mean, I saw it just through a YouTube link and my mind was blown when I first saw your studio, what you've done for some of your clients already. But would love to visually see, and maybe see if you can talk us through some of that.
Yeah, it'd be our pleasure. So to set this up, this is born of frustration at Contend. Like I said, we create content experiences for people, and during the pandemic, we were in a deficit of how we can actually produce content because of obvious reasons with restrictions. So we moved into a purely virtual production model, and we worked with a really, really smart team and developed this very robust technology using green screen to bring to life Unreal Engine or Unity into a stage environment where we can basically wrap a live action content production into an Unreal world seamlessly live. And we just did this using this with Xbox to launch their 25th anniversary of Age of Empires on their new XR stage.
Oh, hey. Oh, awesome. Nice.
What you're seeing is 100% augmented reality. That's a tabletop that it was using a live stream Twitter integration. So people were basically calling the shots on what was actually happening, and that was dynamic gameplay happening on an augmented reality table that doesn't exist. There's nothing that exists in this scene except for a green screen and that human being. Everything else is dynamically generated using our SmartStage technology. So this is all gameplay, working very, very closely with the game developers. I think we set up 5 different fully XR worlds. This is the only practical set here, which is the tabletop. The shield in front is actually augmented reality because we had to update it with the gameplay, but everything else, including the elephant, is augmented reality. We did a full concert live. I think that's the thing that's exciting about this, is that we could do this stuff live and you could walk away without, any post-production, which I think is really kind of going to be a game breaker for storytelling.
That's incredible. Yeah, so I can imagine what the behind the scenes is. Maybe once this video is done playing, would love to see what the actual green screen.
We have another video that actually sets up the behind the scenes. If you can find that, that would be great. And then we can walk you through it. It was Xbox's first launch of this new XR stage. So there was a lot of players that went into this using our technology. And it was a lot at stake because, it's never really been done like this before. So what was interesting about this was they created this really, really beautiful kind of LED screen wall and floor. And we ended up in order for us to use our technology, we had to turn the entire thing. Basically, they created this really kind of robust room, but we actually ended up using it as a green screen to kind of bring to life our technology, which was pretty innovative. Flash forward a little bit. Yeah, this is a good kind of. So there's their wall. See the wall? A lot of rehearsal, a lot of teamwork, multiple companies. As you can see, we turned their wall green, and we ended up using. And there you go. Yeah, that's pretty much how it worked. And what you see is a really weird mashup of LED green coming to life with an Unreal Engine.
Amazing.
And we didn't really have a lot of time, and we were working with a lot of really smart people and a lot of people that really just had one true north, which I think is critical for any kind of innovation path, is everyone kind of like being on the same page of why we're doing it. Otherwise it turns into a really difficult process. But this was thoroughly enjoyable. And it was just a couple of weeks ago.
Wow. So how were the reactions to this campaign, or even just some of the live streamers? What were they saying?
We got a great turnout. We were really very excited about the positive reactions, not just to what we were doing, but the fact that they can feel the game and see the game. It's a 25th anniversary, so we wanted something they could live up to this incredible franchise. So they made it a lot of announcements through the stream as well, like major announcements for the franchise. So that was really well. It was like a perfect way to make big announcements. So we see this kind of what we're doing here. It could be a keynote, it could be a major product announcement, it could be a launch of something using this kind of technology. I think is going to be kind of revolutionary.
Yeah. And I'm excited for even brands, because the 25th anniversary, leveraging these new technologies, everything from VR, AR, NFTs, digital collectibles, to really bring new life to some of these brands and leverage it. So
yeah, we're excited where the future goes. There's a lot more coming from Xbox. We think they have infinite stories to tell, and a lot of audience tuned in. So looking forward to it.
okay. And just in terms of virtual reality, augmented reality, we've seen they can also be used from the retail standpoint. So, right, you go to the mall, you buy something, or even say you're shopping for a car. Can you walk through some other examples of like VR, AR, and how companies can really leverage this technology?
Well, I think when you talk about retail, that is really, for me, where it gets very, very exciting, considering the fact that it's a $24 trillion global industry, retail. And only as of 2021, only 20% of that is driven by digital sales. Wow. So if you can imagine 80% of opportunity on a $24 trillion opportunity moving into the future, the ability to do virtual showrooming, the ability for people to create virtual pop-ups, the ability to kind of use augmented reality to drive sales at retail or to replicate stores, and having, like, for the last decades, is like we've had two ways to do this. You go to a store, or you go to a website that's a 2.0 experience where you can drive through a click, put into a shopping cart, and buy something through e-commerce. The ability now to actually go into a third place, basically a place to go and have a virtual shopping experience and click and move and have really deep immersive product demonstrations, and then be able to buy all the way through. That's a big, we see that to be a massive opportunity moving forward.
I love it. Yeah, and just in terms of e-commerce, we know that product photography took it up a level in terms of actual conversion rates. You're more likely to buy when there's like really good imagery, really good descriptions. And then social selling became another thing. When you have reviewers, you have your favorite influencers. Now this third, technology wave. And I think you shared an example. Say if I was to buy a laptop, you had in the video of him actually turning, showing the side profile of the laptop.
Yeah,
I thought that was incredible.
Andrew, do we have that handy? That's I know exactly what he's talking about. That's imagine having a virtual rep that's actually beaming from a store environment that looks exactly like a store environment, but it's actually from their home or from a place that wherever, like some kind of call center. But this virtual, it looks like you're coming from there, but within their hand is an augmented reality puck or some kind of like way to extend and automate. And this becomes an endless aisle experience where I can call up any product. Wow. from a button at the palm of my hand, and in detail turn and show you and walk you through. Even a car, I can hold a car in my hand and pick it apart and rip it and say, hey, look what. Yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, there you go. So these are all obviously virtual worlds we're walking through. And this is a virtual app. If you see, Yeah, there you go.
That's great.
And this is, I think, where it gets really interesting is the ability to kind of call up stuff where, this person is just, again, on a green screen and he can call up any product and give a demo. And if you're interested in buying a shoe, buying a Nest, buying a Chromebook, whatever you want to actually buy, having the human layer, but also during this stream, be able to touch the screen and buy from the stream, which is technology we have as well. So we are very bullish on where this is going in terms of what that means, especially with this idea of influencers or virtual reps, extensions of the show or extensions of the brand in terms of being able to showcase a product experience.
That's unbelievable. I mean, even for myself and just putting myself in the consumer and say I want to purchase a new laptop. I'm not sure if I should get the 13-inch or the 15-inch, but actually being able to see that rather than saving me the trip to go to the store. Conversion rate's going to go up, decrease in returns, because I know that's a big problem with e-commerce right now too, where a lot of people purchase and you have to deal with the logistics side of it because it didn't fit or just wasn't what they expected. So that's mind-blowing.
Yeah, and we're just getting started. That's the cool thing. And being able to, like I said, Contend is about creating content with an end game. This is the end game, because now you'll be able to say, hey, this stream yielded these sales. Very easy to track, very easy to understand how it works.
Wow. In terms of the companies that are being some of the first innovators to try this out, and for any company that is kind of on the fence, what hesitations do they initially have with the technology, and just maybe if you can educate us on the process.
Well, everyone is, no matter the size of the company, everyone's dealing with the same issue, which is trust. Will it work? Do I trust you to help, with this very, very vulnerable period of time, which is a company's digital transformation of how they tell that story into the future. I think a lot of companies will use a company like a Best Buy or a big box retailer like that, where it's like they are constantly innovating and coming up with new ways to kind of reach the customers in ways that they need. But who are they going to trust to build that connection? They built all this incredible equity and credibility with people, and they've gotten through the pandemic with this incredible program they put into place with picking up at retail. But going into the future, who are they going to trust to actually build that for them, that is going to be here for? So I think that's a big barrier is earning the trust of these brands to be able to tell these stories or help them extend their stories in the right way.
That's great. Well, excited for the future. And anything else Steve, from introduction to your company, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you, watch these awesome videos, see you kind of in action?
Yeah, well, the best way to get a hold of me is probably email. You can email me anytime, Steven@contendco.com. And the best way to check us out is at contendco.com. That's CONTENDCO.com. And yeah, in terms of the future, we're doing a little bit of everything. We are trying to create content that people want to experience. So we just sold a great show a kids show to Apple TV. We're developing. We just created a little docu-series for Microsoft that got premiered at the UN about the diamond industry sitting in the blockchain to revolutionize the Botswana government. Really interesting. So it's kind of the stories are very, very interesting right now. And going into 2023, it's going to be a very, very interesting year. I'll tell you that much.
Very cool. Well, Steven, we have to do this again and just keep blowing our minds on what's possible with VR, AR, and just very revolutionary what you're doing. So
I'll take that challenge. Very nice to meet everyone. And thank you, Jeff, as always.
Awesome.
I hope you liked that interview. If you're looking to implement some of these revolutionary technologies like virtual reality and augmented reality to market your customer base in your business project, contact us at Crowdcreate, where we are at the cutting edge of this digital marketing revolution. We help you utilize some of the latest technologies to help your business grow, get exposure, and overall achieve your goals. So contact us at Crowdcreate and also subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see other videos just like this from thought leaders with Steven at Contend. Thanks.